Simpson, eh? Well, judging by his outlandish attire, he's some sort of free-thinking anarchist.
I'll call security, sir.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 dark truths about The Simpsons.
Barney, that was me! And I'd do it again.
For this list, we'll be looking at feuds, controversies, and heated behind-the-scenes stories surrounding Springfield's most iconic family. Do you have any dark Simpsons facts? Let us know in the comments.
Hey Mojoholics! For a chance to win cash prizes, play our live daily trivia challenges every day at 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern only at WatchMojo.com/play.
Number 10. Fox reluctant to say gay. While Smithers' feelings for Mr. Burns have always been evident, Homer's phobia was the show's first episode to directly tackle LGBTQ+ themes.
Look, John, you seem like a perfectly nice guy and all. Just stay the hell away from my family.
Homer is initially homophobic towards a gay man named John, but the episode takes a clear stance against prejudice and ignorance with room for plenty of laughs.
Bart, where'd you get that shirt?
I don't know. Came out of the closet.
Although it'd win an Emmy and GLAAD award, the episode almost didn't air due to censorship. The showrunners received 2 pages of notes, with the use of the word gay being the main point of contention. The censors deemed the episode unacceptable for broadcast. Thankfully, the censors were replaced following a change of leadership at Fox.
It's a miracle!
No, Ultra Suede is a miracle. This is just good timing.
The new censors accepted Homer's phobia, which aired not long before Ellen's puppy episode and the debut of Will and Grace. Number 9. Clashing over critic crossover. Branching off from The Simpsons, writers Al Jean and Mike Reiss created The Critic with James L. Brooks as a producer.
Hello, I'm Jay Sherman, and this is Coming Attractions.
Following a swift cancellation at ABC, The Critic was given second life on Fox.
Anyway, we think you'll really enjoy our quiet little town. Sincerely, Marge Simpson.
What better way to commemorate Jay Sherman's new home than with the Simpsons crossover? Well, Matt Groening was critical. Not only did he think it was a gimmicky commercial for a struggling show, but he feared audiences would think he created The Critic. When getting the episode pulled didn't work, Groening had his name removed and publicly criticized Brooks. Mr. Brooks was furious with Groening, saying, certainly he's allowed his opinion, but airing this publicly in the press is going too far. The Critic ended shortly after. That stinks.
It stinks.
Yes, Mr. Sherman, everything stinks.
Number 8. The reason for Maude Flanders' death. Maggie Roswell isn't the only Simpsons voice actor to clash with the network over compensation, although her negotiations had the most infamous outcome. The voice of Maude asked for her rate to be raised from $2,000 per episode to $6,000 per episode. This wasn't due to ego, but because Roswell was flying from Denver to LA for line recordings.
Nettie, I've had about all I can take of Homer Simpson's torso. I'll get some hot dogs.
No footlongs.
Her salary didn't cover travel expenses, but Fox only offered her $150 extra. Roswell quit, and the writers decided to address Maude's absence by killing her off. This would be one of the most contentious moments in the show's history. Even Mike Reiss agreed when a critic said killing Maude was a sin.
Lord, I never question you, but I've been wondering if your decision to take Maude was, wrong.
Roswell later returned, but there was no resurrecting Maude, officially.
Maude, you still look as pretty as the day I buried you.
Number 7. The adoption joke that writers regret. There are only a handful of jokes that the writers might take back if they could. One of them occurs in the classic episode Homer's Triple Bypass.
Oh, Doctor, I was in a wonderful place filled with fire and brimstone.
Going into surgery, Homer tries to express his love for his children, but he struggles to find the right words. An otherwise heartfelt scene takes a grim turn when Bart jokingly tells Homer to inform Lisa that she's adopted.
I guess this is the time to tell you. You're adopted and I don't like you. Bart!
According to Mike Reiss, James Brooks pitched this line. Reiss also recalled the Simpsons team receiving angry feedback from parents of adopted children. The idea of an adopted child finding out that their parents don't like them is honestly horrifying. Parents made this abundantly clear to the Simpsons team, with Reese acknowledging that the joke probably crossed the line.
I love you, Papa Homer.
I love you too, Pepsi.
Peppy.
Peppy.
Number 6. Waltons vs. Simpsons. Considering what other animated shows get away with now, it's hard to believe that The Simpsons was once seen as TV's most rebellious program. So rebellious that it caught the attention of then-President George H.W. Bush, who said that American families should be more like the Waltons than The Simpsons.
We are going to keep on trying to strengthen the American family to make American families a lot more like the Waltons and a lot less like the Simpsons.
Huh?
The crew swiftly responded with an opening addressing Bush's comment and the country's financial situation.
Hey, we're just like the Waltons. We're praying for an end to the Depression, too.
Whether or not this contributed to Bush's failed re-election, the Simpsons weren't done with the 41st. A few seasons later, Bush moves across the street from The Simpsons, receiving a brutal beating from Homer and an even more savage takedown of his political career.
How many times were you president, George?
Just once.
Decades later, we all know The Simpsons, but how many people talk about the Waltons?
You know, in my day, little boys didn't call their elders by their first names.
Yeah, well, welcome to the 20th century, George.
Number 5. Sam Simon's exit. Matt Groening created The Simpsons, but the show wouldn't be what it is today without co-developers James Brooks and Sam Simon.
In 1987, Groening teamed up with award-winning producers James L. Brooks and Sam Simon.
Simon felt that Groening and Brooks got a lot more credit for the show's success, with his contributions going overlooked.
Of course, what Matt meant to say, according to his attorneys, is that he couldn't possibly do it alone.
People like Brad Bird would attest that Simon was the show's unsung hero. As tensions rose, Simon left Gracie Films, although he retained his executive producer credit. He'd also receive a salary of more than $10 million annually until his death in 2015. Despite this contention, the team ended on better terms, with Groening and Brooks honoring Simon after his passing. Taking his income into account, Simon said before his death, "I've gone from getting too little credit for The Simpsons to too much."
A good deed is its own reward. Well, then what's this?
Number 4. The joke that had to be altered. Once an episode airs, The Simpsons crew will rarely go back and modify a joke.
Hand me my patching trowel, boy.
They were compelled to do so with Season 4's Marge Gets a Job, however. Mrs. Krabappel lists all of the excuses that Bart has come up with to get out of his tests, including Tourette's syndrome.
Bart, to avoid this test, you've had smallpox, the bends, and that unfortunate bout of Tourette's syndrome.
Bart then proceeds to imitate someone with Tourette's. Many were offended by this, including a boy named Joshua Smith, who insisted the episode not be re-aired, that Bart befriends somebody with Tourette's, and that Bart apologize. While most of these requests went unfulfilled, Mike Reese apologized, saying it was a mistake.
Bart, to avoid this test, you've had smallpox, the bends, and that unfortunate bout of rabies.
For repeats, the line would be changed from Tourette's to rabies, which is ironic since Bart is attacked by a wolf in the episode.
Wolf! Wolf! Wolf!
I'm afraid you'll have to do better than that.
Number 3. Tracy Ullman seeks royalties. Despite all the acclaim the Tracy Ullman Show garnered, it's best remembered for the original Simpsons shorts.
On April 19th, 1987, America first met The Simpsons.
Well, good night, son.
Dad?
Yeah?
What is the mind? Is it just a system of impulses, or is it something tangible?
Relax. What is mind? No matter. What is matter? Never mind.
Ullman was offered the role of Marge, but due to her schedule, cast member Julie Kavner lent her voice.
Rock-a-bye, baby, in the treetop.
According to producer Ken Eston, Ullman wasn't thrilled with the shorts because she didn't think they were the quality of her show. Ullman, nonetheless, would make a guest appearance when The Simpsons became a series. Not long after, though, Ullman pursued legal action against the show, claiming she was entitled to more than $2.25 million. The courts ruled in The Simpsons' favor, finding that Fox paid Ullman $58,000 in royalties and another $3 million for her show. Ullman was very disappointed, but has since joked about it.
Yep, The Simpsons started on my show.
Number 2. the Troy McClure movie that never was. Phil Hartman voiced various Simpsons characters, most notably incompetent lawyer Lionel Hutz and fish-loving actor Troy McClure.
Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such films as The Greatest Story Ever Hooled and They Came to Burgle Carnegie Hall.
Hartman was especially fond of McClure, even showing enthusiasm for a live-action movie based on the character. Apparently, this was only an idea that didn't get far beyond the conception stages.
It's the part I was born to play, baby.
We'll never know what could have been, as Hart's life was cut tragically short on May 28, 1998. His wife, Bryn Omdahl, murdered Hartman in his sleep before taking her life. Hartman had already recorded his lines as McClure in Season 10's Bart the Mother, which aired 4 months later.
Oh, hello. In a few days, our eggs will hatch into nestlings like these over here.
It would be the last time we heard Hartman on the show, with his characters being retired out of respect. Nobody can replace Hartman in live action or animated.
When we return, more classic moments.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Stark Raving Dad Pulled. In Season 3, Homer befriends a Michael Jackson sound-alike voiced by John J. Smith.
Hi, I'm Michael Jackson from The Jacksons.
I'm Homer Simpson from The Simpsons.
It was eventually confirmed that Smith was the real Jackson, although Kip Lennon provided the character's singing voice.
With a friend to call my own, I'll never be alone.
Following Jackson's death, Fox re-aired Stark Raving Dad and the music video Do the Bartman, which Jackson also worked on. At the time of his death, Jackson was already a controversial figure. Yet it wasn't until Leaving Neverland came out a decade later that the creators decided to remove the episode from circulation. While still available in some forms, you won't find it in syndication, on the DVD reprint, or on Disney+. Since then, an MJ musical has come out with a biopic in the works, but Stark Raving Dad remains locked away.
Lisa, it's your birthday. God bless you this day.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.